Hi, thanks for joining. This is for Gemini in the next 2 weeks. Welcome to RFI. I am going to go ahead and actually I need to clear the board first. So this will be north, south, east, and west. Let's get started. Again, thanks for joining. Please do like, share, and subscribe. I am Auric Vibe. Please be sure to check out the offerings on the website. I noticed, hang on a second here. I noticed that I'm trying to turn off the background noise so you don't have to hear if the dog decides to get. It's rather warm here where I'm at. It is, this reading is for the next 2 weeks, but in the time that I'm recording this, it is probably pretty close to 15 degrees Celsius. So you can figure that out. It is probably about 75. I think I'm reasonably accurate with that. Don't know, give or take. But it's warm out, windows are open, and more importantly, this reading is for Gemini. This reading will find you when it is you are meant to find it, and we'll just kind of take it from there. Typically, I'm going to do just a general energy with where you're at, and then we'll kind of lay a line out for relationships, and then it will be whatever is most helpful, most relevant for whatever it is that's going on in your life. Sometimes there's 3 cards. Sometimes there's a lot more than 3 cards. So, well, let's see what we are being provided with in this given energy that we have for the next 2 weeks for Gemini. What is the general energy for Gemini? Where are you at right now? Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, and anybody who's like a cross watcher or anything like that, that might be helpful if you're trying to figure out what's going on with your friends or, family, relatives. Wow. There's some pretty intense stuff. One off the top. All right, so I'm going to stop and take one off the top. So the first card out was the Devil. So Gemini, you are pretty much about communication. You're kind of about things like movement. And I don't see a lot of movement here, but Gemini is represented as the twins. And I think that this is, there's some nakedness here. Probably going to have to address that. Hopefully it's not going to be an issue. I'm going to pull out. She can get a purse. And I've got a little symbol here for him, right? So yeah, this is the Gemini, the twins, right? So this is what we're reading for today. And it's almost like there's this quest, but it feels like it's kind of a stuck quest at this point. It feels like there's a lack of communication. It feels like that there's a lack of being able to write things out, to think clearly. That is reducing our ability to feel like we're able to move in one direction or the other. That may or may not be physical. Maybe you've got something going on with your health that you're not able to move freely, not sure. It is going to depend on where you are at this given point in time. It does feel like you're guarding your heart. You have come to somewhat of a crossroads at this point, and there's some decisions that need to be made. And it's all in your head. You're spending the time reasoning out. So if there are blockages with writing things out, try to write things out, and that'll be helpful. That's going to result in a breakthrough. Because we have the World card. So if, again, she's got that bit of business going on in her, I don't know if I have anything that's going to cover her properly. I might have to, yeah, that'll be all right. All right, so yeah, oh, golly gee willikers. All right, I just have to cover her top, so it's not a big deal. But anyway, silly bit of business. So yeah, this is going to manifest. If you're able to conquer, I don't want to say defeat. This is about conquering and bringing into alignment and balance this side of self that allows you to break free and reason with your writing, with movement, with communicating. That's all part of this, Gemini being ruled by Mercury, right? And there is an element of air, which is swords, and that is this is two of swords, so this is thoughts and words. So we are in control of our world. We just are feeling a little bit stuck right now, maybe. So maybe with what's going on here, there would be something helpful with trying to figure out what would be the best tack. What's the best thing for us to be able to do to remove these blocks, right? I mean, there's nothing worse than having something that we feel like we can't do anything about, but truly the power lies within. And maybe if we stop guarding ourselves quite so much and put to use, these puppies are massive. I mean, if you look at this in perspective, we have way more power than we can see, right? I don't think any of us has any idea of the power from within that we hold. Otherwise, this 1%, and those who know will know what I'm talking about, the 1% would not be in fear of us. So again, this is about balancing the feminine and the masculine energies. This is the thoughts and emotions being balanced with the action and the passion, right? So look what we have here. Temperance. We have temperance. That's going to be our balance, right? It's 1 foot on land to stay grounded, 1 foot in the water to keep us in touch with the emotional side of self. This is our goal, is that golden crown, but we're also trying to work a little bit of magic, maybe even something to do with alchemy. And it's not necessarily even, so if we're struggling to do this, maybe we need to look to meditation, being quiet, being still, and reaching towards this divine self that we see here. All righty, there's a lot of, I need another crystal. I need another crystal. Oh my goodness. She's like totally vulnerable. It's the star and the vulnerability of the star. Yep, 100%. 1, 2, 3, 4. 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, this is an interesting card because there are 10 plants in the ground. So we have a better grounding. And we still have available, you can't see it, my hand's kind of covering it, not including the big star, but there's 8 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, yeah, 8, including the big star. But there's a level of vulnerability. She's pouring the water again on land, like 1 foot here on land, 1 foot here on land, 1 foot in the water, 1 foot in the water. This is about balance, alchemy, staying in touch. And this is also about not making rash decisions and, things that we kind of take for granted, maybe, that we have this ability within us and we just need to access it. One of the ways that we can do that is just to sit and be quiet, block out all this other stuff. And it's not necessarily even blocking our hearts if you really think about it, because it's got to do with blocking out those energies outside of us in this human world that can interfere with our ability to process what the information is that we're receiving. So this is 6 of Pentacles. Man, this is so about balance. Look at the scales. Scales here, balancing here, balancing here. She's kind of staying there, trying to figure all this out. This is about, the duplicity and trying to bring it into a oneness. So sometimes when we do this, though, there is this thing about the victimhood comes up. And that's like a predictive programming. It's a thing where, not really, yes, it is predictive programming for some, but for others, it's one of those things that we've accepted as part of a cultural norm. And it's easier for us to be able to shed that once we accept that aspect of what this inability to balance is at the given point in time when you find this. if that makes sense. Hopefully it does. Well, there's one. So I'm going to flip that over, even though I didn't see it. And we'll hopefully get two more. Yeah, two more. And again, please do like, share, and subscribe if I haven't said it already. And really appreciate all the subs, the followers. And, you know, I had a problem with my website. I couldn't access it and it kind of fell off somewhere. So I'm trying to go back in some of my old videos and replace it with a new access. It's through GoDaddy, so it's kind of weird. You know, somebody else set all that stuff up for me, so I'm kind of feeling a little bit, you know, bewildered with it, and I don't know why it happened the way it did. I'm crazy busy with regular work, so yeah, day job. So I'm going to put a little binder there. So yeah, and this is about our relationships here. And when we have kind of accomplished these things here, the best way for us to deal with this is with realizing our dreams, writing them down, and taking the time to grab that fish out of the cup and manifest. Because this is the beginning of manifestation. It comes with the ideas. Starts with the thought between heart and mind coherence, and we manifested this fish, but we still have to bring that into action. Okay, here's our action. All right, so there's our action. That's the King of Swords. He looks pretty serious. You know, I don't think he has a lot of sense of humor. He might have a little bit, but I sure don't see it in this card. You don't even see his feet. He's not willing to show his cards. He's keeping everything close to his vest. There's nothing wrong with that, right? Nothing wrong with keeping things close to your vest, close to your heart. And it might take a little bit of doing, but again, this is about balance and taming your inner child, your inner self, accepting you for who you are, and creating that infinite bounty and blessing that you have within you. Anything else? No, that was it. Thank you so much. Again, please do like, share, and subscribe. Hope y'all see you on the flip side and have a great 2 weeks. Bye.